Hello and welcome to Sumo Mainichi's Juryo live stream. It's happening. It's day 15. It's the best division of Juryo. And we're here. I'm Amy. I'm here with Dave. We're just in time to see the big man, Tokihayate, take on his opponent today, Kanzaki. How are you,
Kanzaki? Oh, I'm very good. I mean, it's great to see an old friend on the TV screen at the moment as we see Tokihayate go down very much under pressure from Kanzaki. And well, Tokihayate, ex-Yusho winner, finishes at Makushita 6 on 2 and 5. You wouldn't say this is a great result for him, would you?
No, definitely wouldn't. Just maybe on the way out. We don't know when his in-tie is going to happen, and I don't want to suggest it's going to happen now. But, you know, he's not looking great at Makushita 6. He's going to drop down further now. But his opponent, Kanzaki, he finished on 3 and 4. This is the second last bout of Juryo today. We are convening on day 15 with the Makuuchi Yusho already decided. Congratulations to Atamifuji. But heaps still to play out in Juryo, which is very exciting.
Absolutely. On your screen at the moment, we see the final bout of Makushita Mukai Nakano. How did I go with that pronunciation?
Pretty good, actually.
Pretty good.
It was segmented, but it was correct.
Well, I find that's the best way to approach these names.
Yeah. Well, now do it when it flows.
Wakataka Kage.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, you mean his name? Not quite yet.
No, any name.
For now, we'll call him Mooks, but Mukai Nakano is coming in at Makushita 6 with a record of 4 and 2. I think you'd have to say this has been a successful campaign for the 20-year-old from Miyaken in Japan. Only 13 Basho. He's at his highest rank here. He's had what I would like to call a very nice and gradual rise through Makushita, taking his sweet time after winning that 7-0 Yusho from Sandame in January 2022.
Good job to you, Mukai Nakano.
Well, pretty good there from you.
I gathered speed.
You did good. You started slow. You got faster as you went on. I like it. Good approach.
Thank you. His opponent is Ishizaki, who is very popular. Young Rikishi. He's coming into this on 4 and 2. He comes forward low and he gets up under the eyes. Under the eyes.
Well, right up under the eyes.
Fair enough. Under the arms as well, though. And he takes Mukai Nakano out, and that's a final win for Ishizaki at Makushita 11. He finishes on 5 and 2. That's really great news for this little nugget.
You're right in that there's not a lot of Ishizaki, but what is there is perfectly sculpted. Not the tallest guy, not the heaviest guy, but knows what to do with what he has. And a 5 and 2 finish at Makushita 11. He's stepping up to the door and ringing the doorbell.
Yep. Let me in, but he won't be let in this time. But the guys who probably will be at Makushita 1, both with success. Shiden, who finished on 4 and 3. We saw him up in Juryo a couple of times. Kawazoe, very popular.
Kawazoe, welcome. Is it not confirmed? Is it confirmed? It's confirmed in our minds.
Well, 5 and 2 at Makushita 1. You've got to go up,
confirmed.
Right? He's from Miyaginobeya, 24 years old. And then most likely Shishi as well. So great to see him come up. Makushita 2, he went 6 and 1. And then maybe Chiyonoumi as well at Makushita 3, went 4 and 3. The winner of Makushita was Kiryuko. A bit of a surprise from Makushita 26. But let's move on to the best division.
Well, the main event, as they say.
Here we go.
Well, the first bout of Juryo is Yuma up against Tsushimanada. Yuma coming into this one on 5 and 1, the 24-year-old from Osaka. He's been around quite a while in sumo, 54 Basho, if you could believe. He took a couple of years off there, or one full year at the end of 2017 through to the end of 2018. did something that very few Rikishi do, which is to make a return to car park sumo.
Yeah.
Very.
Had to start again.
He started from scratch.
Sumo, wow.
Started again, turned up 3 days and won 3 days, which I think is too many days.
Yeah, didn't need to.
He did not need
Especially
to do
if he's done it before.
But look, great to see him. He's now fighting at his highest rank. 5-2 from Makushita 5, knocking on the door of Juryo.
He absolutely is. This win is very important to him if he can get one more.
Well, you'd say that would just cement the deal, wouldn't it?
I would think so. As you said at Makushita 5, pretty important. His opponent, Tsushimanada, he's got his Kachikoshi already. No, he's coming into this on 7-7.
No, he's coming in on 7-7. And a horror.
I wish that was in my mind.
Well, that would be
Wishful
nice.
thinking.
He had a horror start to this Basho, though, Tsushimanada. Lost 6 of the first 7 days, but starting to look like a bit of a week 2 specialist. Has only dropped a single bout coming into today in that second week. Love a second week specialist.
Yep. He's really been feeling himself as well, those wins. He's been pumping himself up.
Yes,
of course,
hasn't he?
because at Juryo 14, starting off so badly, you're like, oh, well, this is it for me. I'll go back down, I suppose. But as each win came through, he's starting to believe he's trudging on the road to Kachikoshi.
Well, here...
Can he get there?
It looks like they're ready to go. Tsushimanada takes a long step back, exploring the back part of the doyo there with his heels. I'm not sure if this is part of his regular...
Pilates to start with.
Make sure those heels are stretched out. But it's Yuma down first. Tsushimanada comes in hard. Yuma on top of him. The grip flip from Tsushimanada, and he takes Yuma over the doyo. Kachikoshi for Tsushimanada. In some ways, you predicted
Look,
this.
I must have had a dream about it or something. Very invested in the Tsushimanada Kachikoshi there.
Well, what a fantastic end to the Basho for Tsushimanada. With that win today, he'll stay in Juryo next time.
Brilliant.
It's a foundation for him to build a better campaign next time off. Maybe he can get some of that second week vibe in the first week. Ideally, you want it across both weeks, though.
Yeah, I reckon spread it out a bit more next time. Don't save it until... Maybe he's one of those 7-7 merchants, like Kotoeko coming in today, like Oho sometimes is.
I think I've got enough 7-7 merchants in my life right now,
I think you might be peddling as well.
Yeah.
Yuma, he finishes on 5-2. Look, I actually think that might be enough to come up based on... the spaces that might be available. It definitely depends who drops out. We just have, Tochinoshin who retired, and we have Enho and Chiyonokuni who went Kyujo and who will drop totally out. So that there's just plus, people who might drop out of the bottom of Juryo. So including this man on your screen now. But I think there might be a space available for Yuma.
So you're saying that Tokihayate on the left of your screen at Juryo 14 on 6 and 8, it's over for him, isn't it?
I don't want to say that.
I know you don't want to, but I'm going to force you to.
Yeah, the Makukoshi facts are, coming at me.
Exactly. You need to accept that Tokihayate won't be with us for Juryo next time. So from Short Eye's hair, has a bit of the Short Eye polish in the way his body looks, in the way he loves getting on that back foot, but just hasn't found enough wins this time. No. We loved seeing him fighting. He pulled off some good wins, I'd say, but a few losses in a row now has shown that maybe he's losing a little bit of confidence in his sumo, perhaps. Well, the highest win that he pulled off was against Kitanowaka at Juryo 10. So he's been down, working away in the basement of Juryo to get those 6 wins. Look, it just might be that he needs a little bit of time to think about his sumo down in Makushita before he comes back even stronger.
His opponent is Shishi. A lot of people really, really keen to see him up in Juryo, and it seems like he will be. Coming in today on 5-1 at Makushita 2. The man from Ukraine. A lot of people cheering him on at this point. And certainly, he's big. He's learning to control his sumo, I suppose. It's getting a little bit less, bumbling's not the right word, but, he's a big guy learning to control how he moves around the doyo. and he really is starting to do that. He's looking a bit unstoppable. He lost in his last bout. That's a tongue twister. But looking to finish off strong here against Tokihayate. He shuffles backwards. He's taking the long run up Shishi here. He comes forward. Tokihayate slapping at his face, but Shishi's all up in the face of Tokihayate. Tokihayate gets around the back of Shishi, but Shishi adjusts his position and comes face to face with Tokihayate once more. Tokihayate trying to get the hand on the belt, and he does. Oh! They're both trying to throw each other, but it's Shishi who throws Tokihayate down first.
What a high quality bout, as we see what can only be described as a bite mark on the front of Shishi's chest there. Look, that was brilliant sumo from both. I did enjoy Tokihayate's insistence on attacking from underneath there, but just to see Shishi defend over and over there as he managed to stay in this bout. I thought he might have been gone there when Tokihayate moved him across to the bales. Yeah. But what we'll see on the replay is some perfect, I'd say, big man sumo as he kept that left hand on the belt. And that was the left hand in the end that led to that Uwatenage win for Shishi. Well, 6-1.
Absolutely cementing, concreting.
Well, the door's open. Come on in.
Yep.
Welcome.
He's entering.
The house of Juryo.
He is a vampire and he has been asked to enter the house. He's coming in. He's 6-1, so that'll be very exciting in July to see him step up. Tokihayate finishes on 6-9. Bit of time to go back and have a bit of a think about that. I mean, his sumo was positive. He moved quickly. You saw it in that bout, but a little bit more work to be done there.
Absolutely. Coming up next, we have Daiamami versus Ryo. This is a third Makushita visitor. And can I say I'd like to see this as standard?
Yeah.
More Makushita visitors,
Well,
please.
not only the third, but this is the second time that Ryo has been up. He came up on day 6 and fought Chiyosakae. So this doesn't happen often, but it can happen. It's like it's actually an extra day sumo for him.
Because he's coming in.
He's fought his 7 bouts already.
Well, they've obviously had a look at his performance at Makushita 3, 1 and 6 and thought, let's get him to 2.
Have another go.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
That must be very, very rare. Daiamami coming into today, Juryo 9, 6-8, already has his losing record. But as they say, 7-8 is actually the new 8-7. So lots to fight for here. For Daiamami, the 30-year-old from Kagashima-ken, beautiful place down in the southern part of Kyushu. I went there once as a child in my 20s. Very beautiful part of the world.
Young man.
It's been... 2023 has not been kind to Daiamami. He has racked up now 3 Makakoshi losing records. As he makes a very slow descent downwards through the Juryo ranks.
Ryo at Makushita 3, this is his highest rank, but he hasn't been able to perform up here, as we've mentioned. He has been in sumo since 2012. He's 29 years old, and he's moved to Nishonoseki Baya.
That's a positive move, isn't it?
It's a positive move, but hasn't quite worked yet, has it?
I would say to you, not yet.
Well, he actually won the Makushita Yusho in March.
Wow.
So coming off the Yusho and then maybe injured because to come off a 7-0 Yusho.
Well, it's easy to do. You get the 7-0 Makushita Yusho and you can get a little cocky.
Well, I talk about it a lot in Makuuchi, you know.
Oh, yeah, the post-Yusho slump.
Yeah, it hasn't panned out for Kiribayama, but you do often see it. We saw it for Abi.
We sure did.
You know, when you just got everything you want in life and then you've got to back it up and you're like, well, this isn't part of the deal.
I mean, we understand that. Sometimes we'll have a great day on the podcast and then just have an absolute shocker the next day.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's the way of the world. It is what it is. For Ryu, although next time, hopefully he can do a little bit better. Although this extra day's experience, you think might help. An extra tape to review, an extra bout to think about.
If you had to do an extra day's sumo, would you want to come up against Daiamami?
Yes.
Fair enough.
All right, the Gyorji points the gunbai forward. The man in green is ready for some sumo. And let's just wait for the two boys in black to agree. Ryo down first. Daiamami loves to take his time, loves the drama of sumo. Long squats. Getting those feet settled. Touches the ground, comes forward, but it's Ryo who's in underneath the arms. Daiamami, very hard to move, goes for the Makakaya grip, flip there, but Ryo with that left hand on the belt, looking for the right hand. In the meantime, though, Daiamami uses the big body, takes Ryo out, and there is Daiamami superfan, aka Diamother. Very thrilled to see her son win today and finish the basho on 7 and 8.
Just took that opportunity to come forwards, didn't he? Just used the big belly, the big frame to push Ryo back. So it turns out that extra day of sumo for Ryo was not worth it. Now he has to front up at 1 and 7 instead of 1 and 6. And everyone's like, well, why did you do that many bouts, you idiot? He's like, I had to. They made me. They told me to come and fight Daiamami.
I'm interested to see how history records this. Does this go in the history books?
I think so. I think it's down as a... But he'll always have a non-divisible... Well, you know, if he comes up to Juryo, I was going to say a non-divisible by 7 number of bouts. But if he comes up, he'd have that anyway.
Who's dividing them by 7?
Oh, people who have only been in Makushita and below?
Sure. There's a man on your screen. Atamifuji in the red, up next against Chiyosakae. As there's 4 people who would agree that Atamifuji has had an absolute ripper of a basho coming into today on 12 and 2. We've seen a different Atamifuji this basho. Yeah,
much more controlled, much more aggressive, maybe much more decisive. The whole package has worked together a whole lot better. I'll tell you what's not worked a whole lot better, and that's that taping on the right arm. That's the end of about 3 rolls of tape.
Yeah, well, this is a classic taping situation. There's a saying, too many cooks spoil the broth. You need to have one person with a taping vision do all of the taping. You can't do taping by committee. And I think this is what we've seen here, a lack of vision, lack of foresight. We've got a lot of cooks here, all, as you said, with the ends of the roll of tape.
Yeah.
And what we're left with is just a bit of a mess.
A lack of vision for buying one new full roll.
Exactly.
It's one person's run out and they've gone, oh, do we have any more tape? And like 3 or 4 more people have run in with the ends of more rolls. It's just an absolute mess. It's disrespectful to Atamifuji's great sumo.
Does this suggest some budgetary constraints at Isagahama?
Yeah, probably.
Are we cutting back on the tape line of the budget? I wonder.
So Atamifuji, if he wins today, he keeps himself in a possible running for the Yusho. If Ochiai and Gonoyama both lose, they would move to an equal score with him. It's a bit of a long shot, but he's master of his own destiny at this point, and his opponent is Chiyosakae coming into this bout on 8 and 6.
Well, you'd almost call him the veteran, Chiyosakae. He's been around for a long time. He's 32 years old, from Kyoto, started car park sumo in January 2009.
Absolutely a veteran.
Where he wandered out into the car park and somehow managed to go 2 and 6.
Oh, that's way too many days.
That's way too many days. You only need 2 or 3. It's kind of about finding where to park, getting the lay of the land. Don't go 8 days.
And don't park so far away you can't find your car when you come back.
Oh, are you suggesting that he lost multiple times on the way back to the car? So
Maybe.
People were picking him.
Couldn't find it.
Yeah. It's a trap for young G's. But Chiyosakae coming in already with his winning record at Juryo 12. His highest rank is Juryo 10. A positive step towards getting back there.
And it is time for these 2 boys. An important bout in Juryo here. Atamifuji versus Chiyosakae. Atamifuji taking care to complete his pre-bout ritual, which is a nice one. Hopping from foot to foot. Gets the fingers out. Goes down carefully. Chiyosakae is like, enough mucking around. Let's go for it. And he comes forward pushing against Atamifuji's body, but Atamifuji thrusts him away. Atamifuji off balance here. Chiyosakae turns him around, but they lock up again, body to body. Atamifuji comes forward and pushes Chiyosakae out just. Great win for Atamifuji. Great
win. Look, I don't think we'll look back over these 15 days and say that this was his best bout. I think we saw a little bit of the old Atamifuji here, as maybe he wasn't as decisive as we've seen him over the last 14 days.
But he didn't totally lose the plot.
Exactly right. We saw, as we see in the replay here, Chiyosakae did well to unsettle Atamifuji, nearly destabilised Atamifuji completely, but in the response here, Chiyosakae takes a big backward step under the pressure of the Atamifuji attack. So we see Atamifuji give a nod of the head. That's 13-2. And there's his extended family, I imagine, very much thrilled for their cousin, nephew, brother, etc.
Well, one lady did something very silly there, and that's to drop the towel at the moment, at the crucial moment. So he wins. That's when you've got it with the other three people, especially if you've got a line of four. You shake them all together.
Get some movement, exactly.
She dropped it.
Yeah.
Oh, and Nanosho and Anahai bout here.
Tomokaze coming up against Chiyonoumi. Well, I think 7-7 is the appropriate score for both of these Rikishi. Mixed results are the order of the day this Basho for both. Tomokaze at Juryo 12. This is part of the long comeback for Tomokaze after that injury back in, I think it was all the way back in November 2019 that saw him sit out the best part of 18 months. Comes back now in his second Juryo Basho in at Juryo 12 on 7-7. You'll see that Tomokaze's left ankle, I believe, is very, very heavily strapped once they put him back on the screen. A result of this injury means that he has very limited function in that leg, but the hero fights on. He's in Juryo. Some say, or we say, the best division of all.
Yep, he's got back. He's come up through Makushita, taken a while to do it, but here he is. Right leg. All taped up. But he can still move. And he's fought his way. And I do think it's a fight for Tomokaze at the moment. He's fought his way to this position of 7-7. But a bit of a battle of the hearts here for us, because we are both big fans of Chiyonoumi as well. 30 years old from Okinawa. Popular Rikishi in this household. Started sumo in 2016. And has come up from, his highest rank is Juryo 2. That was November last year, but then had two 411s in a row.
Geez, he looked very ordinary towards the end of last year and the start of this year. So very encouraging to see the boy from Okinawa back at Juryo 7, but still some work to do today. And it looks like the Gyoji is ready to sort out which of these two Rikishi will be leaving here with a Kachikoshi winning record. As we get that nice 30-degree camera angle from Abema, really shows a different side to sumo. Chiyonoumi down first. Funny little mutter there. What's this tell you about the mindset of Chiyonoumi?
I think it was Tomokaze that just made him wait. He was just like, well, I'm not going.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want.
It's sometimes good to call that out.
Yeah, I think Chiyonoumi was just like, well, if you're going to just stand there, I'll give you a little touch of the dirt. A
great counter to the mind games of Tomokaze. Tomokaze comes forward slapping, but it's Chiyonoumi playing safe, rotating around to his left, still attacking high on Tomokaze. He's forcing him back towards the Tawara. Tomokaze, though, stable in the middle, defending quite well, slapping at Chiyonoumi, taken back to the Tawara here. Can Chiyonoumi finishing him off? Doesn't look like it. They move back to the center of the Tawara. Now it's all Tomokaze. Pushing, thrusting. No, they're back in the middle. He's in trouble. He flicks Chiyonoumi down. Well, that was some sensational stuff as we got a subliminal ad from an alcohol company flash onto the screen.
Whiskey. Oh, it's the double. It's the double on Tomokaze.
Wow. Nothing like seeing Tomokaze get his kachikoshi from two completely distinct angles. Now there's a mono-e here.
Oh, hang on a minute. Hop down, boys. What are they looking for here? So it was, nobody went out then. It was a pull down from Tomokaze of Chiyonoumi. So it must have been something he did when he went down. I don't think he stepped out.
Could they be calling for a mono-e just to discuss the fact they feel like a nice whiskey on the rocks for some reason?
They were like, did you guys see that flash into your eyes as well?
Well, I don't think that even, I mean, because it's subliminal. Oh, here we go. Here's the replay. What are we looking for here? Oh.
Is he going close to the edge?
Oh, hang on. Nope. I think we could be looking for a hair pull. That does not look good for Tomokaze there.
It does look like Chiyonoumi, like suddenly moves at a stronger angle to the ground.
He seemed to... The velocity seemed to change as the fingers were going through the hair
there. The trajectory changed.
Yeah.
And let's have a look at Chiyonoumi's hair then too. So it's been pulled out. There are some strands down over his ears that can show some fingers have been in it.
Well, here we go with the low frame rate.
That looks okay.
Oh,
but we can't see that.
I don't know. It looks like the fingers have gone inside the hair.
We just couldn't even tell from there.
友和が曲げを引っ張ったのではないかと物言いがつき協議した結果、曲げは引っ張っておらず、行事軍配通り友和の勝ちと。
Oh, and Chiyonoumi absolutely dark on that call. I think he felt something run through his hair there.
I've never seen someone frown like that at a... And there've been some clangers of mono-e. Well, not clangers, but ones where the Rikishi clearly haven't agreed with it and they've kept a fairly stable face. But Chiyonoumi there, he was just disgusted with that call. He must have felt the hair pull.
We look at the replay one more time. Oh boy, that doesn't look good for Tomokaze.
He could have tugged down on the hand though. It doesn't mean...
No, it doesn't.
That the claws were in there.
Well, I
so
mean...
did they not have the angle there or did they see from another angle? Because the TV did not have the angle.
Well, Abema TV doesn't have the angle.
Abema didn't have the angle, you're right.
I'm sure if we were taking the NHK broadcast here, we would see it. But let's at this point, give a big shout out to our friends at Abema TV.
Yeah. No, thank you, Abema TV. So that is Kachikoshi for Tomokaze. It did not get taken away from him. He got it. That's really important for him in this comeback. That's 2 Kachikoshi in a row in his return to Juryo. He will not go very far from Juryo 12 there, but an important win for Chiyonoumi at Juryo 7. That Makukoshi means that he will just go down a little bit, but he will definitely stay in Juryo and be able to represent again in July.
Well, on your screen at the moment is the older brother of Tobizaru, Hidenoumi, the 33-year-old from Tokyo. He's at Kisebeya. He's been around a long time, made his debut all the way back in 2012 in May. Who can forget that? Look, it's been a tough last couple of years for Hidenoumi, and this Basho is no different. At Juryo 11, he's coming into this bout on 5 and 9. I think you would say he's fighting for his life here in Juryo. It's been a long time since he's been down this low, actually, and I think I've got to go all the way back. All the way back. I'm still going back. He hasn't been this low since his debut in Juryo, which was November 2014.
Oh, wow.
And that was the Basho that he changed his name to Hidenoumi.
From?
Iwasaki.
That's his real name, I presume.
It is. Oh, I see a few... who have they got there?
Shimanoumi.
Shimazumi.
Shimazumi towels. Where do you get those from?
Well, I mean, I that's black market stuff
Unofficial
right there.
merch. I like it though. This guy has been, well, he started off really well with the 5 straight wins.
I was feeling his sumo in that first week.
He was feeling his sumo
Yes.
in that first week. First week specialist this time around, but then 4 losses, and then he's been back and forth since then. But he did manage to pick up his Kachikoshi on day 14 against Chiamaru. He's down low. It's a slow tachiai. He's up under Hidenomi's arms. Hidenoumi pushes forward, takes Shimanoumi around the doyo. Shimanoumi backing off, and he crushes him down, Hidenoumi. That's a surprising win for Hidenoumi.
Oh, well, I don't know if much surprises me these days in terms of sumo.
True.
Look, and I think this was as much Hidenoumi running out of gas in the legs as it was Shimazumi's pressure. But
Shimazumi running out of gas in the legs.
oh, I should say yes.
Hidenoumi was like a spring chicken there, cantering around.
I did get it around the wrong way there, and I will be handing in my retirement papers after this for your
Thank you.
well, your perusal.
Yeah, I'll have a think about it.
We see 2 Rikishi loving their sumo rolling around in the dirt together, but it's Hidenoumi walking away with the win. 6 and 9 at Juryo, 11 might be just enough to keep him in the division.
That was an MNW for him.
Very
Absolutely.
much so.
If you're invested in Hidenomi's stay in Juryo, then you'll be whooping and cheering on that one, because I think at Juryo 11 that might mark his stay, preventing one of the young guys coming up. Hidenomi's still there.
Up next, we have Fuji Seiyun up against Aqua, and maybe now's a good time to talk about some of our Juryo awards. So each Juryo Basho, of course, official awards aren't handed out, so we thought, why don't we get involved and make sure some of these Rikishi who deserve recognition for their amazing efforts get some kind of award. Now, we don't send out any prizes. We don't muck around with giant cups of tea or macarons. This is the honour of knowing that you've won.
It's enough simply just to know.
Exactly. Can you put a price on that?
No.
No.
And how do they know? Well, we just think about it and it communicates to them.
Oh, I assume
we
they
don't write
listen.
to them. We don't send a prize.
So, someone up next has an award, and this is actually a first for the Sumo Mainichi Juryo Awards.
We've got a new prize. Is it Fuji Seion? No, it's Aqua. And it's the creatively named Aqua Award. Now, what's the Aqua Award for,
Well,
I hear you ask?
So we, in our pre-day 15 meeting, production meeting that we had with our producers, we sat there with the whiteboard and we looked at the awards and we said, Aqua needs something. There's something about Aqua that he brings that we need to recognise. The only name for this award was the Aqua, because it's so much about what he does. We're going to see it very soon. It's the fact that on day 3 or 4 of this basho, he just starts throwing a whole handful of salt.
Yep.
It's about the energy that he brings by having a car crash 3/4 of the way through a basho and then doing better than he did before the car crash. It's that energy that you bring. And here we see the salt throw.
There's the Aqua energy.
There's the Aqua energy. Now, what's your read on the crowd's appreciation of this?
Not enough
work?
yet.
No, not
But
enough.
once they hear about this award, the Aqua, they'll be
Aqua,
more on board.
Yeah. Looks like they're ready to go. His opponent today, Fuji Seiyun. Well, Aqua straight out of the blocks, gets taken back by Fuji Seiyun, but Aqua tries to turn away. And I mean, that's
the Aqua energy.
That's the Aqua energy. How did he find a way to manufacture an Okuridashi loss out of that one? I mean, that's why he's the first winner of the Aqua.
That's right. We have awarded the Aqua to Aqua, who has gone 5 and 10 at Juryo 5 and just enjoyed every day of it in some way, shape or form. So for future recipients of this award, the Aqua, will be looking for that energy. Now, it's very, very hard to define. We won't know it until we see it.
Well, do we know any other Rikishi that have a jewellery making side business?
Do we know any other rikishi who just decides on a commentate that they want to try out and then just does it non-stop for the next 10 bouts?
And we're not making fun of Aqua.
No.
He is crucial to the energy of Juryo, and we just wanted to recognise that today.
Yep. So congratulations, Aqua, on the Aqua Award. The other one we should probably mention at this stage is one we often give out. It's the Rising from the Swamp Award that goes to someone who's down low in Juryo but has great success. And actually this time around we can't give it out because nobody down low in the Banzuke has double digits.
This is quite rare in Juryo. I think this is the first time we haven't given out this award.
Fuji Seion in that previous bout finished on 9 and 6 at his highest rank of Juryo 13. So congratulations to him, but it's not quite the spirit of Rising from the Swamp. This time around, this award does not go out.
On your screen at the moment, Shimanoumi and his opponent today is Roga. Both of these rikishi coming in on 8 and 6. These are the kind of bouts that we like. Both rikishi enjoying success and using day 15 just to maybe bump that 8 up to a 9. Shimanoumi has looked consistent this basho, which is something I can't say that I've said all that often over the last 12 to 18 months for him. Has just been continually racking up the wins. And at Juryo 13, that's a very, very important thing to do.
Roga, a very important kachikoshi at Juryo 4. That means he'll continue his rise. It can be a place where many rikishi stall out around the sort of mid to upper Juryo ranks, but he hasn't. He's just snagged that kachikoshi. And I'm really happy about it because I enjoy watching his sumo. He's a very strong rikishi. He's got real sumo do vibes to me.
He certainly does.
Forwards, honest.
Is it just me, or has something clicked with his sumo in Juryo this time?
Yeah, he does look strong, for sure. He came into Juryo in November last year, and he's gone 9-6, 9-6, 8-7. And now coming into the potential, day 8 and 6.
Yeah, the worst result is an 8 and 7. This is the kind of progression that I love through Juryo.
Yeah, that's your favourite, isn't it?
Selfishly, because we don't talk.
Max Roga.
Exactly. Yeah. So an 8-7 wouldn't be a bad result here, selfishly speaking.
Gives you time to get used to them. You can really recognise them. You're happy when they step up onto the doyo. You're like, oh, there's Roga.
Yeah, but the problem is you get too attached.
You're right.
And I think there's a great danger of that with Roga. Gunbai is pointed forward. Shimanoumi loves to take his sweet time. Roga's ready for some sumo. It's Roga straight with the left hand on the belt, flicks Shimanoumi's hand off his, drives him out. Very, very easy. Great work, Roga. Finishes on 9 and 6.
Very, very good. So what did I say? 9-6, 9-6, 8-7, 9-6. Very, very strong. I don't think he will go up to Makushita with that. So we get to see one more Roga.
Yeah, this is good. This is very, very good. As we take the replay here, yeah, very good use of that left-hand belt grip there from Roga.
Back muscles really working, which meant he had both sides engaged there on the belt. On Shimanoumi, very strong and powerful. A couple more Sumo Mainichi awards that we've missed as we've been doing Juryo, as we want to do. Atamifuji. Look, we gave him Champion of Tomorrow award. We know that there's this guy, Ochiai, and there's Gonoyama, but we gave the Champion of Tomorrow award to them last time around. They've had it. Clear the way for Atamifuji, please. Finishing 13 and 12. We saw him win just before, so we just wanted Atamifuji to feel the success this time around and be congratulated for his...
Feel the knowledge, but no monetary compensation. Well, we've got a bit of a bout here, haven't we? It is Oshoma and Ochiai. Talk us through why this bout is so important.
Well, Oshoma number 1 coming in on 7 and 7. He's at Magashira 4. So he'll be wanting to win. But more importantly, the man on the right, it's Ochiai, the absolute powerhouse, coming into this bout on 13-1, quite obviously still injured. And I think that it has, come through that this injury is real.
And was there talk that it wasn't real?
Well, from us when we said the taping was just for show.
That's true. I do remember that.
But recovers time and time again. If he's put in a slightly challenging situation, he's impossible to move, he's impossible to get over the Tawara, he's impossible to get off balance. And he is in the running for the Yusho very much so. If he wins here, he puts himself one out ahead of Atamifuji. And then Gonoyama has the chance to match his score again in the final bout of Juryo today.
So exciting. Ochiai really feels like the real deal. Everything I've seen from him this Basho tells me this is the champion of tomorrow. He's already got the award. He knows about the award.
He's got it up on his wall, I hear.
The walls of his mind, because we don't actually
There's
send him anything.
There's nothing there. It's just, I imagine it's
but
there.
He'd save a bit of blank wall for it.
Yep.
And you can see...
Blank wall of the mind. That is so depressing. The blank wall of the mind.
We can see the crowd in attendance at the Kokugikan. Well, they're in a frenzy at the moment. They know how important this bout is. They know they're seeing the future of sumo. We've got two young ladies there who it looks like it might be their first time out. They got very good seats.
Yep.
But even they know this is the future of sumo.
So Oshoma motivated at 7-7, although with his own shoulder tape as well, looks like he is not without his own set of injuries. That's affecting his sumo. He hasn't quite had the success that we might expect of him from Naruto. Baya, they go down. Ochiai looks firmly set. Close angle. Zoom it out. Zoom it out. Oh, he comes in. He goes in with the left arm. Tries a pull, but it's Ochiai that just pushes Oshoma out easily. It wasn't much of a test for him there, was it?
Well, it wasn't really. As we'll see in the replay, I'm a little bit disappointed with Oshoma's approach to this bout. Pulling Ochiai out of the tachiai doesn't seem like a good tactic. And we'll see here that he tried on multiple occasions to pull Ochiai forward, but every time we see Ochiai able to keep those feet under him, turn and respond very quickly.
He's so quick with his footwork. He just keeps his legs splayed, but then somehow when they need to be underneath him, they're underneath him. So he's down, he's in a defensive position or a solid position with the legs out. But then as soon as he's pulled down, are his legs too far apart? No, they're not. They're suddenly underneath him again.
It's unbelievable to watch. I really do feel he's the whole package. Amazing strength in his upper body, but these strong legs that, as you said, just always seem to be underneath him. And he uses his whole body as one. I'm very, very impressed.
Oshoma, that's Makukoshi for him. He hasn't had many Makukoshi in his career because his career has been so short. Started in November 2021. But this time around, just needs to go back to the drawing board at Juryo 4. He won't drop very much and maybe try and recover from that injury.
Up next, we have Juryo 3, Bushozan, up against Juryo 7, Takakento. Bushozan coming in on 9-5. This has been a great basho for him after dropping out of Makuuchi with what you'd have to say is some very, very inconsistent and not convincing sumo. It's been so encouraging to see him come back with a positive mindset, really being able to harness the power of that pushing sumo that he does so well.
It looks like even with a 9-6, if he lost today, but especially with a 10-5, he'll rocket straight back up into Makuuchi. I know that's not your favourite way of doing it.
Yeah, you saw my face, didn't you?
I did.
I just feel like, look, maybe on his second chance he'll have a better run of it.
Fewer nerves, perhaps?
Maybe. Well, I think that's a great way to say it. He did look a bit nervous, a little bit out of his league, but coming back a second time, Yeah, hopefully that's the medicine he needs. On your screen at the moment, Takakento, who is coming in at Juryo 7 on 6 and 8, already with that losing record. And I do have to say, oh, looks like they're ready to go. Well, no mucking around. Well, there it is. The stomach is out. Ooh, big, slow presentation of the stomach there. Bushozan, rock to his core, is down first. Bushozan pushing underneath Takakento, moving him back. What can Takakento do on the Tawara? Absolutely nothing. A convincing win for Bushozan.
He doesn't rocket people away with his pushes the way Takakento does in his absolute prime, but his pushes are so strong, and that was a good example of them, where they were perfectly placed on Takakento's chest. He gets one up under the neck there, and now he's at the chest. He steps forward, he gets one push and then a second one in the sweet spot, and Takakento's out.
I think he would feel very good about his sumo today, doing his style of sumo and getting an absolute perfect result. 10 and 5. Gotta like this for Bushozan, and I think with that you'd say we'll definitely see him back in Makuuchi.
Yep.
Takakento, however, finishes on 6 and 9. You'd probably say a disappointing result after that breakout 10 and 5 performance back in March from Juryo 12. I was saying after that last Basho, I think Takakento's got it together. I think we're going to see a surge to the top of Juryo, and unfortunately I was wrong.
And one of those was a Fusensho as well against Tochinoshin.
But, I mean, he would have beat Tochinoshin.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we can mention our other Sumo Mainichi Juryo award, which is Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me award. Now, this is for an experienced rikishi who is still hanging on in Juryo, and we've chosen this time around to give it to Chiyonoumi. And when I say we chose to give it to Chiyonoumi...
Well, I'll take us back to the production meeting where I had to raise my voice a little bit and insist that the production team votes my way and award this to Chiyonoumi.
We have been surprised that we haven't heard in Thai from him
Well,
yet, but seeing that he's still in, damn it, he's going to get the award.
Well,
Don't let the sun
right.
go down on him. He's still in it.
I tell you what, if he is going to put faith in himself that there's another Basho left in him, damn it, I'm going to do the same. And the production team will do the same.
We're hearing from Hakaku Oyakata here. Congratulations to Terunofuji on his win yesterday. Looks stoic as usual. I thought he had really big shoulder muscles there, but it was just
I saw that.
whoever's behind him.
Now, it's probably important to say that I have no idea who any of these rikishi are because I haven't seen them in Juryo recently.
Who are these non-Juryo people? I mean, this is probably one of the lower ranks, right?
Oh, well, I assume this was the seniors league. In all seriousness, though, Makuuchi has been an absolute treat this time around. We've seen the Sekiwake just almost usher in a new age of sumo.
Waiting to see tonight whether Daisho can get that win to take him up to double figures like the rest of the Sekiwake. To see if Kiribiyama can get one final win, although his Ozeki status is pretty much already confirmed. He'll be getting that after this Basho. Wednesday. Yeah, I think that's the day that it usually happens. Oh, Shodai, can he get one more? Probably not. Takakeisho, he's shown up on day 15, just trying to get... He's already got his Kachikoshi, luckily for him, but can he get one more?
Gotta say, a bit disappointed with the day 15 crowd. They're
not cheery, are they?
Well, I say I'm disappointed. I'm not surprised. You know, your day 15 types don't understand Juryo.
It's right. It's more people coming because it's day 15.
Day 15. Yeah, the company's given them tickets.
Yeah, that's right. For the props and for the excitement and for the, oh my gosh, it's day 15. The tickets are being given away as maybe special events or
Yeah,
special
exactly.
prizes.
They assume that Juryo is probably high school kids, which is a great tragedy, because if they were sitting in all of those empty seats that we're seeing right now, they would have been treated to an amazing day of Juryo so far. We still have only 3 bouts to go.
And one more prize to give away. Actually, we can't give it away because it was if win. It was the Sumo Mainichi Encouragement Award, and we had it down for Tokihayate. He didn't win. He lost to Shishi, and I'm really sorry. We can't. I used to be against if win, but
I
now
know.
I'm 100% for it.
Is there something particularly dark about our encouragement award
Not
being if win?
It should be if lose. Oh, hang on. He should get it.
Should we give it to him?
Yeah, I think we should give it to
we
him.
should.
All right. I'm writing that down.
Right.
Deleting that bit.
Yeah, I think we've made the right decision for Sumo with that award. Well, up on your screen, a couple of rikishi. Azumaryu at Juryo 2 coming up against the man you know as Mr. Sumo, Chiamaru at Juryo 10. Both of these rikishi have had rather unfortunate basho, although Azumaryu has really felt the sting of the losses, chomping up the black dots, coming into day 15 on 2 and 12. As we see there, got a couple of wins in the middle there. He might be a weekend guy.
But weren't his wins against Enho and
Chinakuni.
maybe even Chinakuni? Oh, I know. I think it was Aqua, actually. Hang on, let me check.
Yeah, let's have a look.
It was, Enho and Aqua.
I mean, wow.
Got a Katasukashi win over Aqua.
Of course he did. Well, Chiamaru on your screen as he bends down to pick up an appropriate amount of salt to throw out. 6 and 9 unfortunately includes a big run of losses there at the start of the second week. 5 losses in a row. His Juryo 10 now will see a bit of a slide in the next Banzuke. We have to go back to 2016 in March, where he was Juryo 11 to see the last time he was somewhere near where he's at now. He's not getting any younger. He's 32 years old. We hope he fights forever. But time is a cruel mistress. Or master, depending on your preference.
And we've just seen Gonoyama come out for the bout 2 after this, the final bout of the day, where he will try to win to equalise with Ochiai to get that equal win and force a playoff.
Force a playoff. Fingers crossed. I'd love to see a playoff today. We saw these two fight earlier in the week, and I feel that if we don't get to see a day 15 matchup between these two, we've been robbed.
Yeah.
But time will tell. Sumo will tell.
The win went to Gonoyama too when they fought.
So Ochiai's
recently.
only loss is to Gonoyama.
Yes.
All right, looks like we're ready to go here. Azumaryu on the left, Chiamaru on the right. You'd be tipping Chiamaru here, wouldn't you?
I reckon.
I reckon. Chiamaru up under the chin. Azumaryu slowly moving forward, but Chiamaru gets the body in, twists around and throws Azumaryu down as easy as you like. Azumaryu getting up, covered in dirt, wanting this basho to be over. And for him, it is.
You could see Chiamaru going for the Nodowa and then trying to get his body out of the way so he could pull him down. Just desperate for the pull there. But his big old body was in the way. Here he's trying to move himself to the side. He's trying to pull down. And he did get himself out of the way. And he pushed down on the side of Azumaryu's head.
It took him a few goes there, didn't it? I mean, Azumaryu isn't the easiest rikishi to move around.
He's massive. Sure. He's like, what, 195 or something, centimetre. Oh. So Chiamaru finishing at 6 and 9, Azumaryu 2 and 3.
2 and 3. Give him a
2 and 3. Wow.
Give him a go.
I've rescued him there from the ignominy of 2 and 13.
I think you've forgotten those 10 other losses. Yeah. All right. Tamashoho up next against Shonanoumi, 9-6. Tamashoho from Juryo 11. No, he's 9-5, I should say. Coming into this one as he takes the phantom drink of the Chikara Mizu, the power water.
Are they sipping now, though? Look
No,
like he
I
sipped that one.
don't think so. I wouldn't think so.
They're thirsty now.
Well, I mean, we were talking about this, I think, earlier in the week in the podcast. There's very few hangovers now from COVID. The only one I identified before I remembered this was that the commentators still have the Perspex glass.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But this one has not come back. I feel
And
it's a
the
terrible waste of water. And tissues.
Yeah, because they have to wipe their mouth, but they're just wiping nothing off.
Yep.
They might get a little chafed there on the mouth because it's already dry and then they're just hacking at it with a tissue every day.
I imagine that those little tissues would have some kind of aloe vera incorporated into them.
They're actually freshening their mouths up.
Yeah. And the man on your screen, Tamashoho, fresh mouth, fresh score, 9-5 coming into this bout. Good to see Tamashoho do a little better. He came into Juryo with a lot of promise. Yusho back in November of last year from Makushita 23. 4-3 from Makushita 1, but 8-7 last time from Juryo 13. Thought he might have come in and done a bit more damage.
Yeah, he's been okay, but not stellar, has he? He hasn't blown anyone away. Shonanoumi, great sumo vibes. Looks like someone we'll see in 10 years in a sumo montage. With a lovely homemade banner as well, with some sparkles. I don't know how I always wonder with these homemade banners, how do they print them out? Or, because it's so sparkly, they can't have printed that. They must have put glue on and put the sparkles down on the glue and then made sure it hasn't gone outside the
Well, I think
boundaries.
this is what you call mixed media.
Yeah.
So I think there'd be a printed element, and then there'd be a decoupage element where you're
Decoupage?
well, in Japan it's decoupage.
Is it?
Is it?
Is it?
What is it? Decoupage.
Decoupage.
What does that mean in French?
Like
Stick the glitter on.
Mixed media.
It doesn't, does it?
It means putting in lots of cut bits of paper, I think.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah,
Well,
I
there you
actually
go.
think decoupage is cut bits of paper.
And decoupage is putting lots of glitter on there.
And keeping it within the boundaries. Shonanoumi is coming in here at 10-4 at Juryo 1. He will be going up no matter what happens here today, but can he get one final win? He's going out with the arms. He's all at Takanosho's body and pushing him all around. Oh, he's got turned around, but he refuses to go out. But he eventually gets pushed out there by his opponent, Tamashoho, who I called Takanosho.
And I didn't mind that comparison, I've got to tell you. Now, we've got a mono-e.
Well, this just matches with how I called that bout because I got so mixed up. I was still really thinking about the glitter, I have to admit. And then when I started thinking about the bout, it was too late. I was in the world of craft.
So, come back from the world of craft.
I can't.
No. Put that glue stick down.
I won't.
All right, well, let's have a look. So this was given to Tamashoho. We're going to take a replay here. Oh, it's a question. He did go very close to the Tuari. Looks like he's up on the top there. Oh.
Now, where was Naruto looking there? Because he didn't call it there. It was right in front of him.
Okay, we can see he's looking.
I think he thinks that somebody's going to fall on him and he's starting to get out of the way.
He's looking for an escape path there.
Is he looking at the feet or is he looking across the doyo? He didn't call it then anyway.
That's your job, isn't it, to look at the feet?
One job.
Look
at the feet in front of you. It looks to me like Tamashoho went out there.
Doesn't look good for him, does it? And Tamashoho was given the win right there.
Yep.
玉正鳳の足が出ていたのではないかと物言いがつき協議した結果玉正鳳の足は出ており行司軍配差し違いで湘南の海を勝ち取りました
Okay, so a reversal there of that decision. Yeah, I think that was probably the right call. Without getting that angle from the other side, it still looked like his foot rolled on the wrong side of the Tuara.
I do think Neruda might have to think about handing in his resignation there.
Oh, yeah.
He was looking bored. He's like, there's only 2 to go. The main event's next. He's looking there, but he's like, oh, somebody's going to fall on me.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was just worried about being fallen on.
I think so. But, I mean, your job is not to get... Your job isn't to be not fallen on.
You've got to be flattened. You've got to accept the flatten.
I thought that's part of the training that you go through to be a shinpan, is they just drop big bags of rice on you from a great height, and you've just got to sit there and make good sumo calls.
So that was given as fumidashi.
Inadvertent step out, I believe, is it?
Yeah, the rear step out.
Rear step out.
Non-technique.
Non-technique. Interesting. You don't see that all that often. And look, when we look at the bout as a whole, it was certainly Shonanoumi who came out on the attack. Didn't love to see Tamashoho go so far backwards and pull there. Yeah, I think this result sits quite well with me. Well, that brings us to potentially our final bout of Juryo. Gonoyama at Juryo 1 up against Kitanowaka at Juryo 10. Well, I don't know if this is quite the bout that is going to test Gonoyama on this final day. Kitanowaka has just scraped his way to 8 wins. Gonoyama coming in on 13-1 and has just continued to look absolutely dominant this basho.
He's not amazingly flashy.
No.
But just, can't be moved and goes forward. Like a steam train, like a powerhouse, maybe like a bullet train. Very, very hard to stop.
The front line speed is good, but the width that he brings with that is... It's beautiful to watch.
Yeah, we need a width measurement on him as
we
well. So we've got height,
do.
We've got weight, but for Gonoyama we need width.
Only dropping 1 bout so far this basho Gonoyama, losing on day 10 to Atamifuji. And you can see now at the end of this basho, it's your Atamifujis, your Ochiais, your Gonoyamas. It's these 3 that are really at the top of Juryo, regardless of what their Banzuke rating says. Although Gonoyama is at the top of the Banzuke in Juryo.
He's literally also at the top. And Shonanoumi, we just saw him fight, and he finishes on 11-4 as well. So he is also a very honourable mention. He's no champion of tomorrow, that's Atamifuji, but, maybe he'll get there next time. Well, he won't because he's going out of Juryo, so no more awards for you.
We just saw a slightly confusing stat that went up on the screen. It had Ochiai and Gonoyama, but it listed them both as... Well, it was listed as the Rikishi who have 1 loss. So what that tells us...
Not how many wins they had.
No, not how many wins, which is the traditional way you do it in most sports across the planet Earth. But what this means is that a win here from... And you might have to help me because I'm so confused by that 1 loss stat.
Gonoyama.
A win from Gonoyama here will force a playoff.
Yep.
With Ochiai. A loss will hand Ochiai the Yusho.
Yep. There's no way for Atamifuji to win here now. He's been discounted from the Yusho by Ochiai's win.
Sorry, I just had to sneeze.
Yeah, you went to the back of the room. Not into the microphone. Thanks.
No worries.
Sparing everyone.
COVID's real.
He doesn't.
I don't have COVID.
He doesn't have it. No days off for you.
All right. Gonoyama. Just complete look of serenity as he grabs the hand of fate, goes up against Kitanowaka. Kitanowaka has hankered Gonoyama. Gonoyama fights his way back into this one. Kitanowaka has the left hand on the belt, but Gonoyama is fighting. He's in a lot of trouble, but he reverses the flow of that bout. Drives Kitanowaka out. I'm stunned at that.
I hate that Henker so much. He's already got his Kachikoshi Kitanowaka. What's he trying to do there? Just deny a guy who's done so well the Yusho just out of spite. Come on, he's got your Kachikoshi.
You're exactly right. This is spiteful sumo from Kitanowaka.
I'm the first one to say it's competitive sumo. You've got, competitive in your veins. You know, you want to win at all costs. But
this is
do you really want to win at that cost? Gonoyama, he lands on the Tawara and somehow launches himself back out. That's Kitanowaka's fault for not coming back at him quick enough. He thought he had him beaten then.
But even here, Kitanowaka seems on top with that left-hand belt grip.
And here, this Norowa, he maybe made a mistake with the Norowa there. That was his second or third mistake here.
Well, he made a series of mistakes.
Pushed the chest. The Norowa just, you know, Gonoyama, he's flexible as well. He just bent himself over backwards and then powered back. That was a great win from Gonoyama.
Oh, a great win from Gonoyama, but I am going to need to brush my teeth after that because I've got this filthy taste in my mouth. It tastes like garbage. That is just not sumo.
He's done so many henkers, Kitanowaka, too.
I know.
Feel like.
Does it make it better or worse?
It makes it worse. For sure.
And you're exactly right. Kitanowaka had his Kachikoshi.
Yeah.
Didn't need to do this.
He wasn't desperate, which is sometimes when you pull out the henker. Anyway, the result is that Gonoyama has gone to 14-1. That is equal with Ochiai. So we are waiting for a playoff. And in the meantime, we have the Jonidan Yusho. It's between two fellows, Oshoryu at Jonidan 7 and Satoru Fuji at Jonidan 60. Oshoryu, he's from Naruto Baya. His Oyakata is right in front of him. He's 27 years old and he won 3 Yusho immediately when he started sumo in 2019. His name was Motobayashi. He catapulted up to Makushita. This is his highest rank. He wasn't able to get up to Juryo and he's just been out for 3 Basho injured.
It's been
now he's back.
A
bit of a ride.
A real roller coaster ride for Oshoryu fans. I think the name Motobayashi is familiar to me, but I feel that I've been sleeping on this kid.
It's because of those 3 Yusho, I think. I think we must have realised that. His opponent is Satoru Fuji. This is only his second Basho after Car Park Sumo. He's 18 years old from Isagahama. So a very different to Rikishi here.
18
on the
years
big
old.
stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a thrill for these, kids. I mean, everyone's a kid compared to me. But to fight on the big stage like this.
Absolutely. Fronting up in front of everybody. The nerves coursing through their bodies, I'm sure. Can the 27-year-old Oshoryu or Satoru Fuji, the 18-year-old, pull this one off? A wide stance on the young Gyoji. Oshoryu who comes forward, but it's Satoru Fuji who gets the belt grip straight away with the left hand, but they lock up because Oshoryu manages to get the right hand on as well. They're fighting back and forth here, but it's Satoru Fuji who pulls off the throw. That's his first Yusho at 18 years old in his second only Basho. Congratulations to the young man from Isagahama.
I'd be organising a big shipment of towels with this kid's name on.
Yeah.
Because that was beautiful sumo and a high-quality bout for Jonidan. Great to see them putting on a show for the crowd that's getting bigger and bigger. Loved that sumo from him today. Powerful belt sumo that we might see if they give us a replay, and they do.
He tried to pull him forward, Oshoryu, but it just let Satoru Fuji get on the belt. They were both in an equal position here, I thought, although Satoru Fuji had the
deeper grip.
Outside hand and was able to use that outside grip to throw Uwatanage.
Wow, wasn't that beautiful? Yeah, I think you'd be watching the replays of that on the iPad as he walks down the Hanamichi.
So that's 2 Yusho for Isagahama, the Jonidan and the Makuchi, receiving a bit of inspiration from Terunofuji, perhaps. And the good news from our Japanese teacher is that he's from Shizuoka, Ken, so he can be a replacement person to barrack for after she was a bit disappointed in Midori Fuji this time around.
Well, look on your screen, Gonoyama and Ochiai getting back up on the doyo just to work out a little difference they have in terms of who was the most dominant Rikishi over the last 15 days. Both coming in on 14-1. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen a good old-fashioned Juryo playoff with this level of magnitude.
It's so impressive from both of these. They've achieved no matter what.
Exactly.
And then to also gift us a playoff. I mean, thank you. I'll be forever indisposed to these two for a playoff. You don't get it very often. I mean, in Juryo, you get it a little bit. Of course, we favour the playoffs with the straws when there's more than two people.
Well,
but I will
fear
also
that
take
situation.
a two-person playoff.
Well, I feel like both Rikishi coming in today, coming up now after a win, they've both been dominant. I feel, though, that Ochiai's had to find his way out of a few bouts over the 15 days, perhaps more than Gonoyama, but Gonoyama absolutely had to dig himself out of a hole in that last bout with Kitanowaka. In terms of freshness, I'd say Ochiai's probably coming in feeling a bit fresher. Gonoyama, I think, being hankered at the touchy-eye takes an emotional toll on a Rikishi.
Maybe it makes him madder, though. Like, maybe it fires him up for this.
Or does it make him hesitate at the touchy-eye?
It might.
He's been burnt once. Can he go straight ahead with trust against Ochiai? Well, probably, because
I think he probably can.
Well, if Ochiai hankered, I think everyone would be devastated.
If Ochiai hankered, he would be thrown out of Miyagi-no-Bear.
Yeah. Well, hard to believe Ochiai's only 19 years old.
Taller than Gonoyama, but not much, 180 v 177.
Yeah.
So quite, and both wide. I feel like you could perform a wideness measurement on Ochiai as well. Just hard to move both of them.
Yeah.
It'll really depend on timing and position and placement of their pushes.
Well, I think you're exactly right. I think the opening milliseconds of this bout are going to be very telling as we see the very rare split screen view on a Bema.
They don't bust it out for just
they've only got 3 uses on their trial that they made a new Gmail address for this Basho.
And one they mucked up before. They showed the same guy on both sides.
I thought you liked that.
I loved it.
But here it's being shown to great use as we get a very good simultaneous view on the pre-bout preparations.
And finally the crowd is getting a bit excited. You can hear a lot of people calling out now. The high Borus have just kicked in.
Well, I think you're exactly right. I think these are the people who have been drinking probably since midday, clogging up the corridors of the Kokugikan, and have come in mistakenly thinking that Makuchi has started.
Probably looking for a Sanayama. Instead, they've got the playoff of their dreams. Gonoyama versus the young man, Ochiai.
Silence falls over the crowd apart from that one guy who won't shut up. Gonoyama down first. Gonoyama comes out, thrust high, force Ochiai back. Ochiai resisting, but Gonoyama finishes Ochiai off with a huge thrust. Yusho Gonoyama.
Gonoyama, he's done it, and he's allowed the faintest of emotions onto his face for it. Just a set of the jaw, the bottom jaw's come out a little. He's bobbing a little on his legs. Congratulations to Gonoyama. He deserves it so much. But geez, Ochiai, the fight that guy put up on the bales.
Well, we'll see the replay that Gonoyama was on top of Ochiai from the outset. But even, you see Ochiai still staying present. Look at him leveraging himself on that back Tawara. I mean, he made Gonoyama work for what should have been a simple Oshidashi win.
And maybe tried to slip to his left there, collapsing the left knee a little to try to step out of the way, but there was nowhere to get away from Gonoyama then. It was interesting, Ochiai chose to come in maybe a little bit angled with the left shoulder. That's his injured shoulder. I don't think that had to do necessarily with how far he got pushed back, but just because he was on that slight angle, Gonoyama's straightforward hit here.
Yeah.
Sent him back a couple of paces. And from there, it was difficult for him.
I think you're exactly right. He hit Ochiai at just the right angle to basically throw off that attack of Ochiai's. It did nothing, and suddenly he found himself back on the Tawara. But still, I think if you watch Ochiai's ability to improvise here, he believed he could stay in it despite an avalanche of Gonoyama falling on him there.
And actually, Gonoyama had to get so close to him to push him out in the end. You know, you never know if you're able to just pivot a tiny bit, then Gonoyama steps out. You know, it could have worked for him. But instead, it's Gonoyama very deservingly accepting the Juryo Yusho here.
Absolutely. Straight up, no mucking about. Here's your certificate. Congratulations, you've won a Juryo Yusho. That brings us to the end of our coverage for Day 15 Juryo. Thank you so much for joining us. Juryo gives me life.
Yep. Juryo's the best. And it will be back, and we will be back in July with more coverage. We'll be on Day 1, 8 and 15 on YouTube. So if you enjoyed this, please hit subscribe on our YouTube channel, Sumo Mainichi. It means sumo every day. We're Amy and Dave. We're from Melbourne, Australia. You probably picked up the Australian accent if you haven't heard us before. And we love sumo. We love bringing you the Juryo division. If you'd like to support Sumo Mainichi, we have a PayPal, sumomainichi@gmail.com, which just pays for some of our, sake, our sake fund. Yes. Basically, we like to buy sake with it and drink it, and then pays for some of the, internet business.
Yes.
Around running a podcast. So thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah.